Welcome back everyone to the Meeple Marathon. Today I'm going to be showing off how I have stored the game within the included storage boxes here in Sleeping Gods. So I really appreciated that they provided a unique themed storage solution. In a way it's nice that they're not game trays. I'm not sure how well they'll hold up over time because it's basically just cardstock at the end of the day, so I'll probably be taping mine up. I can already see some wear and tear on them, but it themes really well. The magnetic box is really solid, so I just felt like I didn't want a whole bunch of baggies inside these nice boxes. So let's just take a look at everything. All my manuals and stuff are sitting on top. That's pretty standard. And then for now, I have kept all of my dungeon expansion stuff in this bag that it came in, including the cardboard tokens. It was recommended that you play through one campaign before attempting to take on the dungeon, so I'm gonna do that. And so it's just easier to keep all that flat and in the bag, protected. So here is essentially what Red Raven Games provided you in the box, but again, these were just kind of big empty boxes. So this right now is just empty. This is the used quest box, so that's sitting right there. And here are my event cards. I will eventually find a tuck box for these of some sort, deck box or whatever, to store those in, but for right now the baggie's doing just fine. Takes up about the same amount of room. This is the magnetic card box. It's got my quest cards and my adventure cards. I also went ahead and stored the arcade cards in there. I can show you what that looks like in a second here, but these are the three that I mainly focused on. And honestly, I just about stored everything in here pretty much in these two. I left this one in here just because it fills the space, but if I pull this one out, you can see that all I have put in here are the cardboard coins that I don't need because I have the metal coins from the Kickstarter, and then there's one extra of those foam pads which may come in handy down the road. So this is essentially an empty box. So here's the big one. You can see this one's already starting to get some wear and tear on the corners, just from the minor amount that I have used it. And what I have in here is essentially the kind of for the most part what they recommend you to store in this box. So here I have the market cards. I will also probably try and find a deck box for this as well. I may reorganize the way these are set up and just lay them flat. I could also store them in this box. But for right now they fit right here. I figure I'm going to have to add at least one of these once I open up the dungeons, and that'll go right here. But I've got this tuck box here. This one is definitely handmade. A gentleman on BGG put this out there pretty easily, but what I found is that he either grossly miscalculated how thick it needed to be, or he was planning on sleeving his cards, which is probably what he was considering. But what I found is that this is where they recommend you placing the character boards, in this larger box, and it's really the only one that will fit it. So, and the only way they'll fit in here is to just lay on the bottom like that. The combat cards here don't fit turned on their side, so the only way for them to fit in here as well is to lay down on top of the hero boards. Well, when he created his tuck box, it made everything thicker and the box wouldn't close. So I don't know what people are doing who are sleeving their cards, but I had to do some heavy modifications here after I had put it together. So this is a little rough looking. I may reprint this down the road, or I may find, if I can find a nicely themed tarot sized box that's the right thickness. But there's all the combat cards. Again, I'll put a link to that tuck box, DIY tuck box, in the description below. Then I have basically two little decks of the ability cards along with the upgrade cards for the heroes. Unfortunately, I could not get all of the, essentially Fate deck cards into one of these Zen Bens, so I had to split them up, but I needed 2 anyways. But what this will create is a nice little draw pile for me and discard pile while I'm playing the game, because I'll add a small stack to this, and then I can just draw them out of here. They won't be flying around. Any sort of mini American or mini Euro, I'm not quite sure which ones these are. I think these are the mini American size. Tuck box will do and will fit right here. You can see I even have some wiggle room there, but I highly recommend these Zen Bins. They're like 97 cents, I think, on like Miniature Market and Game Nerds and Cool Stuff Inc. You got to find them in stock though, because they go quickly. But if you find these in stock, just purchase them. Purchase 5 or 6 at a time. That's what I do, because there is nothing better for storing these mini American size cards than these Zen Bins. So basically, I've got 2 of those tipped on their sides, and even tipped on their sides, the lid still closes. And then the hero boards right here, obviously, and then these are the big find for my storage solution. You'll see why in a second. So I've got this one in here. This one has all the synergy tokens. It has unfortunately, I only received 3 combat tokens. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have 4, but my little ship miniatures in there, my player meeples in there, just kind of the stuff that you need to use to get the game started is all in here. And again, you could change up what's in there. So let me move all this out of the way now that you've seen what's in my big box. Everything else is in this box, and so all of the rest of my components are in this box. But again, I hate baggies. I hate having to dump stuff out and have piles of stuff on the table. So what I have created here now, let's just spin this around so you can see it better, is a whole bunch of these. Really, that's all it is. I got these larger cardboard pieces, mainly the port piece that's too big to fit, but these I think are like going to end up being really unique story items, and so they're just in a baggie mainly because they were too big to fit in here, and they could go honestly anywhere. I could throw them in this box over here. Anyways, everything else is right here, so I could literally just pick this up, set it down on the side, but most of the stuff you're going to need pretty regularly. But I've got my coins here. Unfortunately, they make this particular box pretty heavy, but my large coins and my small coins, I was looking at it, I probably could fit, if I was playing with cardboard ones, all of those into one of these. But so I've got my 2 sets of coins. I have my command tokens and my ship damage tokens. I combine these simply because neither one of them filled up one of these, and it just felt silly to not combine them, but they're easily distinguishable. I've got my damage tokens along with the 5s, which I want to say I really kind of appreciate that they did it this way, because the 5 and the singles are very easily distinguishable when you're pulling them out. And so it's very easy to say, "Ooh, I need 5. I'll grab the 5er." Usually you see them where like the 5 is slightly bigger than the single and you got to dig around for them, but I kind of like that they did that. All right, what else do we have in here? I've got my search or discover tokens along with these ABCDEFG tokens, which I don't know what they're for, but I put those in there together. All my fatigue tokens in one, all of my status tokens in one, and last but not least, all of the food and supply tokens in one. And as you can see, these lids come open really easily. They stay open. It's very easy to, pull stuff out of here, shuffle things around, and then when you're done, they just, store right back in here like this. These boxes are square, so you can't really put them in there the wrong way. The lid closes, it would lay flat, but again, these boxes are just not that, they're just cardstock, and you can see here they're already just been kind of bent up. But when I put my flat stuff on it, the lid lays flat. So they're just the right height to fit inside that box. And then here is, last but not least, like I said, this is empty. This is the event deck. And this is how I have all my quest cards here, adventure cards here, and I squeezed in my arcade. I may change this because this is really tight right now and it's a little difficult to find a card, but I also know that eventually I'm going to be removing these quest cards as I play through a campaign, and so this will get smaller and smaller and smaller, making it easier. So, but for right now, that's just where I decided to store everything and made use of these foam pads so I can they're easily separated. But yeah, this box is superb. This one's like, you know, a nice heavier chipboard or something, and it's just wrapped in like a sticker cover or something like that to make it look like the rest. But this is a nice sturdy box. I really appreciate this box. I wish everything had been this quality, but c'est la vie. So there you have it. Again, I'll put links in the description below. I guess what we can do here real quick is just show off how everything then goes back into the box. So again, those kind of go like that and like that. And then these go back here like this. And you gotta have one of those in there. And then for right now, I just have my market cards in here. This baggie does make it so the lid doesn't want to close, but it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so that goes like that. Slide those boxes in, put an empty used quest box. Eventually this will be a tuck box, so it lays flatter, and there you go. All the flat stuff on top, and you are set to store it away. And more than likely, you probably could turn this on its side. You know, everything is packed in there. The lid does close all the way. So things aren't gonna like tip over. You would definitely want to make sure that this box is on the bottom. The magnetic box is on the bottom, so because that's certainly the heaviest thing. I think if everything else is sitting on top of it, you're probably okay, but more than likely I'm going to want to store this box on its side on the shelf. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more Sleeping Gods content, which will be coming next, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.